Frank Warren, in association with FrankWarren.tv and sponsored by Hill Dickinson Lawyers, proudly present 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Championship, live and exclusive on Sky Sports HD Saturday Fight Night from the Echo Arena here in Liverpool. Your officials are appointed by the World Boxing Organisation and the British Boxing Board of Control. Your 3 scoring judges at ringside are, from Preston, Mr. Phil Edwards, Mr. Terry O'Connor of Birmingham, and Mr. Dave Paris of Leeds. Your WBO supervisor is Mr. Dennis Gilmartin of Islington, London, and your British Boxing Board of Control steward in charge is Mr. Jeff Bolter. When the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Richie Davies of All Hallows, Kent. Your timekeeper at the bell is Barry Pinder. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner. He brings with him a record of 31 wins from 32 contests, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Already he has landed the British and Commonwealth titles at super featherweight and is a former world title challenger. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone, 8 pounds, 8 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, from Dagenham, East London, presenting and introducing the former undefeated British Commonwealth and WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Champion, Kevin "The Hammer" Mitchell. And across the ring in the blue corner is the man regarded as the best lightweight in Europe. He is a former undefeated English champion, a former undefeated WBC World Youth Champion, and the former undefeated British and European champion. Wearing the black and gold shorts, he weighed in 9 stone, 8 pounds. And tonight is aiming to extend the current longest unbeaten run in British boxing, with a record of 31 wins from 31 contests, with 18 of those wins coming by knockout. From Manchester, the WBC #2 ranked lightweight, John Murray. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Okay, fellas, you've both had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Behave yourselves, do as you're told, and above all, defend yourselves at all times. You got all that? You got all that? God bless you both.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds to decide the vacant WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Championship.
Well, a partisan crowd, and this, Jim, a contest that I've been looking forward to since the moment it was made. On paper, it could be one of the fights of the year.
Yeah, you have to expect this to be brutal. Some people expect Kevin Mitchell to get on the move the way he did against Bradis Prescott. I don't know if that's in his mind. I think he fancies that he can blast Murray out of there.
Mitchell in the blue shorts. And straight away, the action has started quickly. Kevin Mitchell said, let's see how he reacts when he walks onto one of my shots. He's prepared to really go for it.
Well, Murray has been outboxed in a lot of domestic fights for the first 3 or 4 rounds, and he grinds opponents down. I think the danger here is, if he falls behind in the early stages, a lot of facial damage could occur, because these are solid punches that Mitchell throws.
Murray, who's trained long and hard, sparring with Paul Truscott in preparation for this. And neat footwork from Mitchell. Looks sharp, doesn't he? He's made a nice start.
Yep, he's moving, but he's standing his ground when the time comes to throw the punches. It's not the Bradis Prescott, you know, light, medium punches on the move. He's digging the shots in. Murray doing pretty much what we expected him to do, marching forward, disregarding the punches coming towards him.
There are some lurid headlines in the papers about Kevin Mitchell, how he'd supposedly blown 100 grand after losing that fight to Michael Katsidis on some fairly extravagant partying. By his own admission, he lost sight of where he was as a sportsman, but with the help of his parents, he says he's got it back.
Well, I mean, I have to worry. I mean, if a fighter like Kevin Mitchell, in the biggest fight of his career, he doesn't give it everything in the gym, he starts misbehaving, is there a flaw there? And did that flaw show up during the fight? I mean, he didn't run out of steam in the later stages, he was blasted out early. But I like the way he's going about it here. He's a little bit quicker than Murray in the early stages, but he's been drawn into the kind of battle that Murray wants.
Murray knew it was going to be a hard fight. He said he's a very good fighter. He hits hard, and if he loses this, he's going nowhere. So he knows that Mitchell, as well as being talented, is fighting scared, because to an extent, perhaps more for Mitchell than Murray, his career is on the line here as a real world-class performer.
Well, I've been impressed with Mitchell's boxing on the move in the early stages of this one, because he's digging in good punches when he decides to throw them. Murray not really finding the accuracies yet.
Well, more action in this opening round than we've seen perhaps in the whole evening's entertainment before this, and this is really good stuff as the two go toe-to-toe in the closing seconds. Murray right in the face of Mitchell, and Mitchell working well off the ropes.
Yeah, well, I think Murray must be delighted that Mitchell has decided to stand so often and trade with him, because that's his kind of fight, that's what he's used to. It's certainly not what I expected Mitchell to do.
But it's a good opening round, that, for Kevin Mitchell, boxing well.
Left uppercut.
Kevin Mitchell with his trainer, Jimmy Tibbs, vastly experienced man in that corner, and pleased with what his man's doing so far.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of imagination in Mitchell's boxing, but I tell you, when the first round of a 12-rounder is as hard as the one we've just witnessed, that is a real test of character for both boxers. Murray, I'm sure, will be delighted. We'll see how Mitchell copes with that. That was a tough round.
There's a smear of blood from the left nostril of John Murray after that fight, and interesting that both fighters were landing really telling blows in the first 3 minutes. Hard to see, I would have thought, how that sort of intensity could continue for 12 rounds, but you never know. Murray now trying to get on the front foot, trying to carry the fight right into the face of Mitchell.
I mean, Mitchell showing in the early stages that he's technically that little bit better than Murray, but this looks like a fight where the hardest is going to be a really important factor eventually.
There's been an assumption, Jim, I think, in a lot of quarters that John Murray is physically the stronger guy, and I just sensed in the run-up to this, both of them landing simultaneously, good hard shots, but I sensed in the run-up to this that Mitchell felt that he got a point to prove. You know, I am a genuine lightweight. Well, I can hold my own physically.
He's come up from a super featherweight, remember, he spent most of his career at super featherweight. The signs I'm looking for this early, as when an exchange of punches and they both take big shots, who marches straight on up again, who wants to cover up and get themselves out there. The first sign, who's starting to hold up close. These are the little signs in this kind of fight, which maybe just lets you know which way it's tilting.
Well, we always suspected, sometimes a mistake to prejudge a fight too much, but we always suspected that Mitchell would make a fast start and would show boxing skills, but sooner or later Murray would be able to drag him into the trenches.
Murray's taking big punches that he can't afford to do. That's a good right hand, bang on the chin from Murray.
That's his best punch of the fight so far, John Murray, and he senses that. He went right down to the boots of Mitchell, but he's now regrouped, he's back up on his toes. How much lasting damage now has been inflicted by that? That's definitely Murray's best punch so far.
Yep, and Murray at the moment looking the boss, but getting just a little bit too close to get any snap into his own punches. He needs to be stepping back, give himself some room. This is going to be every bit as good as we hoped.
Only the second round, and already it's turning out into a fascinating encounter. Another good right hand from Murray, and Mitchell is being dragged into Murray's sort of fight.
Mitchell looked over to his corner, but he winked while he was doing it, so I don't think there was any alarm. But he's boxing the wrong fight. Mitchell is that little bit more talented, but he's not using that. He's been dragged in.
Another way of looking at it, Bradis Prescott, despite that victory over Amir Khan, may be a more one-dimensional man than John Murray. And look at Murray now. He's got Mitchell absolutely where he wants him, in that corner and piling on the pressure.
Yeah, well, the early signs were good in this round from Mitchell, but Murray has taken it away from him, that big shot, then just the volume of punches. His own defence a little bit tighter than I've seen it in the past, Murray. Tremendous round.
2 rounds gone, and already we have a cracking fight. Jimmy Tibbs wanting more movement from Kevin Mitchell. Doesn't want to see him go toe-to-toe with Murray.
Yeah, but he should be using his skills, but that was a beautiful right hand, so certainly nothing wrong with his chin. Kevin Mitchell, that was a great shot, and from that point on, Murray had the upper hand in the exchanges, winning the round on my card, and again dragging Mitchell into the wrong kind of fight.
John Murray's trainer, Joe Gallagher, who to a lot of people's eyes was a bit unlucky not to have a world champion when Matthew Macklin went up against Felix Sturm a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He's a great studier of opponents, and he believes that he's got the right plan for Kevin Mitchell.
I think we will see a change in Kevin Mitchell's boxing now. We will see a lot more movement. He'll be looking for a Bradis Prescott. I think he wanted to make an early impression on Murray, but he's just found out how tough John Murray is. So there's a change of plan for him now.
Yep, get dragged into a brawl, and John Murray is a very, very hard man. And you can see now he's back on his toes, Mitchell, trying to use the full circumference of the ring.
See, Murray should be stepping across, not following them round the ring, and just get up close when you're ready to throw punches. But Mitchell making it difficult for him. Complete change of tactics from Mitchell.
Murray, who believes that he is genuinely world class. He believes it's his destiny to win a world title. But if Mitchell can keep this up, it's going to be awkward. Murray, though, keeps coming forward, and when he gets inside, that's when he's tough, and when he wears down his opponent, takes the energy out of him.
Yeah, and he has shown he can do this for 12 rounds. So any thoughts that Mitchell may have of running out of steam, don't think that's going to happen.
Well, this is much better from Mitchell than the second round. He's won the first half of this third. Greater variety, greater movement, better angles. Oh, that's a good solid right hand from Murray. Now then, is it payback time for the Manchester man?
Yeah, digging on those body shots in this kind of fight, those are important. He's just walking through what Mitchell has, and that can become demoralising. If you can't find the space, if you can't get room between you and your opponent, and he's walking through what you've got big problems. Lost his composure a little bit now, Mitchell.
I saw these two a year or so ago when they were together, and they were openly sort of fairly pleasant to each other, but you always sensed that there was that undercurrent, because they knew that sooner or later down the line they were going to meet. There was going to be a fight, and now we find who is the superior man.
I think Mitchell would like to be moving more, but he's not been allowed to do. He's standing his ground. He's beginning to show out to the referee there about the rough stuff. Just give it back. It's a rough old business, this.
Well, that's Murray's game, and they're only too happy to absolutely get into the trenches with Mitchell, but Mitchell landing quality shots in the closing seconds of this third round. Another good round. That's Joe Gallagher with John Murray.
Yeah, well, Mitchell has certainly had the better of the first half of that round. Murray come blazing back. That was a tough one to split, and I couldn't split them. But what a battle this is.
Seconds out. Round 4.
He always had the makings. It'd be a tight bet one way or the other. Mitchell may have an early advantage, but the strength of Murray is there and is evident for all to see.
Just has to be careful, Murray, he doesn't waste that strength wrestling up close, because Mitchell obviously will like to spoil. A good shot from Mitchell, but Murray walks through it.
Richie Davis telling Mitchell not to force down Murray. Legal hold. Murray on the front foot, trying to close down the ring. Mitchell back up on his toes.
Well, these are the right tactics for Mitchell. Move, but when you decide to throw punches, make sure they're quality, solid punches. Just becoming a little bit untidy now.
Well, Murray will be only too happy for this to continue in this sort of pattern for a while. Maybe just sap the spring out of the legs of Mitchell. Mitchell looks nice and sharp, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, his movement's good. He's just been warned, I think, for holding a little bit, or maybe ducking low as well. Just doing anything to keep away from the flow of punches coming from Murray.
Well, here again, Murray looking to tee off at close quarters.
Good movement from Mitchell. The punches were scoring points, but they weren't doing damage. Just moving with the shots. Clubbing right hands from Murray.
Technically very good, Kevin Mitchell, always was. Turned pro when he was just 18, much to the disappointment, I think, of the amateur sport in this country, who thought he could have gone on and won major medals as an amateur. And look at that sort of variety of punching and the speed with which he put those uppercuts together.
Yeah, that was an impressive little burst, but I think he was been outworked up to that point.
Grueling stuff, and Murray walks him down again.
I mean, these rounds are so close. Every punch has been answered. Good shot.
Always tight rounds to score, Jim. These are the fights which, or rather the rounds, which can really have a key determining effect on how the fight actually pans out on the cards of the judges, if it goes as far as that.
Well, good clean punchings from Mitchell, but the volume from Murray, and the fact that Murray looks the boss in so many of the exchanges. It's just, I think some of these rounds are just going to pick what you like. Tremendous.
That's a terrific left hand from Mitchell. Last big scoring shot of the round. Good round again. In the Mitchell corner, Kevin was just speaking to Jimmy Tibbs. Just seemed a little bit worried about some of stuff which was going on in there. I don't know if he was protesting that heads had come in, but look how close that is. Similar number thrown, and Murray has landed slightly the more, but it's a close fight.
Yeah, well, that's what you have to see. I mean, there's a lot of quality, clean punches from Mitchell, but the all-out work rate of Murray. I have Murray 1 point up at the moment, but really you can see most of these rounds the way you like. They're so close.
Fifth round, two terrifically experienced fighters, and Kevin Mitchell looking for atonement after that performance against Michael Katsidis, when he felt that he let his fans down big time and that he wants to get back to the pinnacle of the sport. Mitchell being told off by Richie Davis in no uncertain terms.
Yes, for pushing him off. I thought it might be for a little bit of holding, because those are the signs I was speaking about earlier. Who wants to hold up close? Who's the one who wants to step right back after a tough exchange? The little signs in this kind of fight. Who's maybe a lovely punch from Mitchell. Yeah,
quality uppercut, wasn't it? But look at what's coming back from Murray. He has an ability to withstand pressure. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen John Murray really wobbled in a fight, and it's not. It doesn't instantly come out in the old memory bank.
No, I don't think he has. He keeps his chin nice and low, so most of the punches he has to take, he takes them on his forehead. I haven't seen him take too many cleanly on the chin, and that's part of what he's good at, but he's really throwing lots of punches here. Mitchell just struggling a little bit with the pace and the volume. Lovely punches coming back from him, but not enough.
It's inevitable, Jim, that these punches are going to take the toll. Both men are starting to mark up. The lip, the top lip of Kevin Mitchell is really badly swollen, and he's got bruising around his eye as well. And I get the impression that Mitchell, the punches are taking a greater toll on him than on Murray at this stage. But that's just my way of interpreting it.
I just don't think Murray cares about punches he has to take. He's done that throughout his career. It's always worried me. But when Mitchell takes a good shot, then he's forced onto the defensive, whereas Murray walks through it, because that's the way he does business.
Well, he's sort of got a cheerful, psychopathic demeanour, hasn't he, John Murray? He really is a fighting man.
Well, I was worried that he may have been banged up. A good left hook, right hand from Murray. I was worried that Murray may be banged up. His eyes could have been closed.
The right eye, the right eye of Murray is swelling up badly.
That was one of the concerns I had, of the facial damage in the first half of the fight with taking too many powerful punches. This has been a good round for him, but some damage has been done.
It's a swelling underneath the eye, and they're going to have to really go to work on it in that corner. They're going to have to get the iron on it to get the swelling down, and Mitchell will see that better than anybody else, the toll that his punches are taking. But look at Murray right in there in that corner, raining punches in.
Well, I think this is a round you can confidently give to Murray. The work he's put in, Mitchell responding well in the later stages here. Tremendous round.
Seem to be saying it round after round, don't I? But that was terrific once more. Animated advice from Joe Gallagher for John Murray, telling him, work the body.
You wonder how Mitchell feels when he lands a beautiful uppercut like he's just done there, and Murray keeps walking ahead.
The right eye of Murray's is swollen. Not affecting his vision too much as yet, but it's only the 6th round, long way to go. It could be a factor the further the fight goes. Mitchell back up on his toes, trying to spear his man with the jab and use his speed and mobility.
Yeah, Murray has to be careful in stages like this not to waste energy, you know, punching fresh air. Has to get himself close. As the round rolls on, he'll start closing the range.
Well, we've talked about the punishment that Murray sometimes takes in fights, often takes in fights, in order to get the upper hand. And once again, this visible marking around that face shows just how many of those shots from Mitchell have found the target.
Yeah, and Murray has been in so many fights similar to this, not at the same quality level, that's for sure, but he doesn't mind exchanging punches. Mitchell has got by on skill a lot more during his career.
Done well so far in this 6th round, Kevin Mitchell.
Timing his punches nicely at the moment, Mitchell.
If Murray, by work rate, had perhaps seized an early advantage, Mitchell coming back, although now has to absorb the solid right hand, and here comes the big onslaught again from Murray.
See, these are the little signs, just the way suddenly Murray can take charge of things with a couple of solid punches. But this is good round so far from Mitchell.
It's Mitchell's best round for some time, this, if he can keep it together. Suddenly got the spring back, leaving Murray at times, beat him to the punch beautifully there, didn't he? It's around the back of the head, although in fairness Mitchell was dipping below waist level.
He's timing the punches nicely, Mitchell, but must be demoralising the fact that Murray keeps coming through them and getting his own shots off. Good first 2 minutes to this round for Mitchell, but now we're into the tough part.
And here's Murray leaning on, draining Mitchell once more. Both men so keen to make a statement here for bragging rights in this lightweight division in Britain.
Murray missing with a lot of punches now. The jab keeping him at bay. Yet the little switch in tactics certainly working in this round for Mitchell.
Murray's not been able to find the body shots that Joe Gallagher was imploring him to find. It's been a good round for Mitchell.
That's a good shot from Mitchell. I think that troubled Murray a little bit, just pushed him on his heels. Excellent round for Mitchell, and he knows it.
Mick Williamson, John Murray's cut man, earning his call in the corner there. Both eyes now swollen up beneath the eye, and there's the statistics of punches landed. Murray with just a slight advantage. That's how the stats tell the story. It doesn't necessarily tell you how the rounds have gone.
Seconds out. Round 7.
Into the second half of the fight, where by common consensus the opinion was that Murray might prove himself to be the stronger man.
Murray trying straight punches now, which is sensible. It means you can get them off before you get just too close. Yep, trying to use the jab for the first time.
There's Jim's scorecard. After, what, 30-odd years of watching big fights and judging so many of them, it commands respect.
Yep, well, I mean, so many of these rounds are tough to score. Murray, the facial damage is getting worse, the swelling. He's walking onto the jab. He started trying to use his own jab.
The left eye's bleeding now.
Just a little bit too crude at the moment, John Murray.
And Mitchell now senses that his man is perhaps starting to lose heart, and maybe that his vision is starting to be impeded. Mitchell sees the damage that his punches are doing and he now fights with renewed vigour.
Well, it looks as though there's no snap in Murray's punches in this round, but it's because of the movement of Mitchell. He's not taking the full force of any of these shots. Really, his tactics are excellent.
Well, this is the game plan that he employed against Breidis Prescott, isn't it? In and out, and lots of movement. And he's been prepared. Oh, that's a good shot. Been prepared as well to trade with Murray when the occasion suited him.
I'm wondering if the snap is leaving Murray's work, and if it is, that's a big problem, because Mitchell's still looking strong. His punches are not having the same effect on Mitchell they were having, and he's walking on to Soddle shots himself.
I've got this fight dead level at the halfway stage, and Mitchell is coming on strong in this 7th. Single shot from Murray, and a couple of rounds ago, having him in the corner there, he'd have been looking to unload. This time didn't quite have the speed or urgency to do so.
Yeah, I don't see the same snap in Murray's punching. Is that because he's tiring a little bit, or is it because of the movement and he's not pinning Mitchell down? We'll find out soon enough.
Murray has always said the best is yet to come. He believes he's a progressive fighter. Mitchell said he had a bad day against Katsidis, he had personal problems, and now let's see the real man. The two landing simultaneously there with real big shots.
I think there's a sign of more confidence.
Head's gone in. Murray looked as though he maybe went in with the head on the blind side of the referee. Good uppercut, lovely uppercut from Mitchell. And Murray looks a little bit disorganised, a little bit wobbly. Is Mitchell now going to step in and look to try and take John Murray out? Left hand as well. Anxious times for John Murray. And the bell comes. And that was a big round for Kevin Mitchell. And John Murray, after 7 rounds, is really in dangerous territory.
I don't think Murray has anything left. His own punching has lost its snap. The punches that he was walking through earlier in the fight are shaking him to his boots. If the bell hadn't sounded, I think he was out of there.
The right eye is just about closed now in that corner. Let's have a listen.
Listen, he's got to come out here and try and put it on left hook, right hand, everything behind the jab. German, just keep it tight.
Well, Mitchell was the one landing the quality shots, particularly towards the end of the round, and Murray was in big trouble.
Yeah, and these are punches that he was walking through a couple of rounds ago. He's not walking through them now. His own punches don't have the same snap, have no effect on Mitchell, and he looked on the verge of being knocked out just as the bell sounded there.
That's how the bookies see it now. Mitchell 5-2 on. Well, the way that last round finished, you'd have a little bit of that, wouldn't you? Murray bangs his gloves together as much as to say to himself, come on, let's get back into this fight. A fight which 2 or 3 rounds ago Murray looked as though he was winning, but now it's Mitchell who's the boss.
Yeah, Mitchell standing strong in the centre of the ring, really looking powerful.
Oh, that's a quality shot, beautiful uppercut from Murray. And Mitchell, I'm not sure that he's seeing all these now.
There's too long to go. It looks as though Murray is drained of strength. A body shot too, the last thing he needed.
Murray is trying to come forward, trying to force it, but is that vision impaired? Mitchell's trying to pick him off, and the way it finished at the closing stage of that 7th round, you sensed that there was only going to be one winner, but Murray is such a battler.
I've never seen him shaking. You were saying earlier you've never seen him hurt with a punch. We've seen it now. Good left hook from Murray.
Oh, it's swung again, and now it's Mitchell who wants to hold on. What a fight. Murray is coming forward and fighting on instinct. There's a criticism that he sometimes makes easy fights hard work. Well, this is a hard fight, and both of them, oh, it is torrid entertainment, and down goes Murray. Great shot from Mitchell. And Murray looks as though he's in real trouble. Has he recovered? There's blood coming from that right eye. Richie Davis having a very close look, and he allows the action to continue. And Mitchell's trying to finish it. Here and now it's all over. And Kevin Mitchell has proved his point. A first professional defeat for John Murray. And Kevin Mitchell Mitchell, for him, it is his moment of redemption, atonement for the day he got it so wrong against Michael Katsidis. Here in Liverpool, he's got it absolutely right. And what a terrific finish to take out John Murray.
Well, I could see a lot of things happening tonight. I could see Kevin Mitchell winning this, but I did not see it unfolding the way it did by a stoppage, by grinding down the man who is famous for grinding all the lightweights in Britain and Europe down. Tremendous performance, tremendous discipline from Mitchell. He was always throwing the quality punches. Murray gambled on work rate and just non-stop punching, but maybe not enough thought in his boxing. Always felt there was a problem with Murray, his disregard of punches that he was taking. Well, tonight I think he paid the price for that. He was taking too many punches from a big puncher like Kevin Mitchell. Fantastic performance from Kevin Mitchell.
It was a fantastic performance, and lovely to see the show of respect between the two of them. And I think a word as well, Jim, for Jimmy Tibbs, who's just managed to get Kevin Mitchell into such terrific condition, and he believed that he got the game plan, and he was absolutely 100% convinced that his man had the tools to win this fight.
Yeah, we knew he had the tools, but we wondered, did he have the grit, the determination and the heart? Well, he showed tonight he has that too. It was found lacking against Katsidis. We wonder, and we have to remember, he's come straight back at this level from the Katsidis debacle. So tremendous character he showed. I said at the end of the first round, this kind of fight is a real test of a fighter's character. Well, they both showed tremendous character, but Kevin Mitchell showed character I didn't think he was capable of. I thought he was phenomenal tonight.
That was terrific. And right across the east end of London, I'm sure there will be celebrations. A few of the fans lost heart a little bit with Kevin Mitchell. Well, now watching this, taking out an undefeated, proud fighter, they can believe again.
Yeah, well, onwards and upwards now. Now we can go into a world title fight with confidence that he can mix it. I mean, he was facing an undefeated man here, a real true champion in his own right. Tremendous fight from start to finish, every bit, maybe even better than we expected, but really surprised the performance from Kevin Mitchell, out of this world.
The absolute jubilation for Kevin Mitchell, and a disconsolate John Murray for the first time in his professional career, tasting defeat and the badges of defeat as well on his face, and now confirmation of a spectacular win for Kevin Mitchell. Well, Mark Burdis, the master of ceremonies, we await him.
Ladies
now he's
and
going to do it.
gentlemen, at 1 minute 46 seconds of round 8, your referee Richie Davies has stopped the contest. He deemed that John Murray was in no position to continue. The winner in the red corner from Dagenham, East London, and the new WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Champion, Kevin Mitchell.